welcome to Crushing Kayfabe. My name is Jason Garish. Thank you for tuning in. A lot of stuff going on. First off, happy holidays, whatever you celebrate, whatever it is your family does. Have a safe and happy one. Like say Merry Christmas to all the fellow Christians out there, and thank you for tuning in. Hopefully you have someplace to spend the holidays, I should say. Let's get right into the WWE stuff. Actually, before I even do that, hold on one second. I'm sorry, I'm just check something real quickly here. I know that I'm inadequately prepared. Sorry. Let's see. Oh, hey. Raiders actually won. They beat the Jaguars. Oh well. Tony Khan can't be too happy. By the way, Tony, while we're on that subject, I saw something earlier that Rampage was going to they're going to discontinue it. Is that correct? Let me see. Anything substantiated on that? Yeah, final AEW Rampage for the foreseeable future. So does that mean they're going forward with Dynamite and Collision being their two main shows, I guess? Taping the last Rampage episode for foreseeable future. Okay. Huh. Interesting. I saw that earlier and I needed to confirm it. But yeah, it looks like they are. Let's see. Congratulations once again to all the Las Vegas Raiders fans. Let's see. WWE SmackDown. Who did they have playing quarterback? Was AOC back? Sorry, like I said, I should have checked all this beforehand. Now I gotta go look at the stats and everything. This is horrible. Yeah, AOC was playing good. Good. I'm glad he's okay. Good. All right, WWE SmackDown in my old stomping ground of Hartford, Connecticut. The New Bloodline opens up the show, promoting his match versus Roman. By the way, ton of promotion for Raw on Netflix on this show. Jeez. Better promo from Solo. Drew interrupts, which is basically when he says that when Solo finishes off Roman, that Drew is coming for Solo. But at least Solo was the only one who had the guts to stand up to him, so I guess there's some kind of respect there, some kind of weird respect going on there. But because Solo cost Drew the title at Clash of the Castle, a lot of people have forgotten. I forgot it at the time. I was like, wait a minute. Yeah, he's right. Yeah, Drew wants Solo after Solo beats Roman. I already said that. Jimmy pulls Drew out of the ring, beats him, end up having a Bloodline versus LA Knight versus Andrade and Apollo Crews. Shinsuke interferes with the match and takes out LA Knight. So Solo ends up pinning Crews. So the Crews is probably the most expendable out of that whole bunch. So that makes total sense from a booking standpoint. Let's see. After that, KO is shown in a segment with the wing belt over his shoulder. Wing belt looks good. I hope they keep it. I hope it wasn't a one-night thing. So they're going to have KO walking around with the wing belt and Cody with the other championship. Not a bad idea. I kind of like it. Gives more fuel to this feud. I like it. After that, we had the Waller effect with Braun Strowman, with Carmelo Hayes interrupting, which he challenges Braun in the new set for that Waller was so proud of gets destroyed, of course. So we end up with Strowman versus Hayes. Much more competitive match this week, and Hayes actually wins via count out. So I guess we're starting to feud off with Strowman and Hayes. Not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. This might be the only way you can get Carmelo Hayes over, because he's really been kind of floundering. He looks small compared to everybody, so this kind of gives him a David versus Goliath kind of feel to it, and he outsmarts Strowman this week with the count out. Then we had Alex Shelley versus Johnny Gargano, with Gargano winning after interference from Ciampa. I know Alex Shelley told Sabin to stay away and all that, so he eventually did come down, but not before Ciampa was able to interfere, and giving Gargano the win. Next, we had a pretty interesting match. Bianca Belair and Naomi, if I could speak English today, filling in for Jade Cargill versus Nia Jax and Candice LeRae for the Tag Team Championship. Apparently, Jade Cargill is still incapacitated and unable to defend the titles, so Naomi is filling in for her. Naomi made a little comment before this about wanting to deserve it. I think Bianca was trying to put the belt on her or something to that effect. I'm beginning to think Naomi was the one who attacked Jade Cargill backstage, and I'm thinking that Naomi's going to turn heel. I know I'm not the only one who thinks that, but things seems like the logical way to go, because as a babyface, Naomi is not really popular. She gets a decent reaction from the crowd, but I think she turns heel. That could be interesting. And I know that it's kind of odd they're keeping her separated from the Usos and whatnot, so it's kind of weird. But yeah, I think this is probably the way it's going to go. At one point during this match, Tiffany comes out to ringside with the briefcase, of course. Naomi ends up pinning Candice to retain the tag titles. This was the main event of SmackDown. Decent show. Had a lot of promotion for the Netflix Raw, which is happening January 6th, and a lot of recap from Saturday night's main event. What do we got after this? Raw was in Boston. The show opening up with CM Punk. Interrupted by Seth, of course, unfortunately. Brawl ensues. Let's see. Braun Breaker versus Ludwig. Breaker wins. No shocking surprise there. We had Liv, Dom, and Raquel to the ring. Had a really awkward, weird face down between Rhea and Liv during Saturday night's main event, which was kind of odd. But excuse me. Now we have Rhea interrupting Liv, Dom, and Raquel's promo again. Backstage, Sammy ambushes Drew backstage during the Seth interview. So Seth is being interviewed and Sammy ambushes Drew. So obviously we're not done with the whole Drew versus Sammy thing. This is going to be real interesting, because we've now got not just the current bloodline versus the OTC bloodline, but I could almost see a faction forming between KO, Drew, and I don't know, God only knows who else, against the original bloodline, because now I've got this heated feud between Sammy and Drew. And how does Punk work into this? Is he he's gonna feud at this point, obviously, with Seth, but there's still ties between both of them to the original bloodline. So they could even play a factor to this. The Bloodline is becoming so interwoven within the fabric of WWE. It's a great storyline, and I'm glad they're doing it this way because that involves The Rock. It involves so many other things. But they're really getting their money's worth with this. I'm happy about that because they've been doing a great job with this. Let's see. Zoe Starks versus Raquel versus Kaden Carter. It's for what, the Women's Intercontinental, which obviously Chelsea Green had won the is it the U.S. title for women? So unbelievably happy for that. I'm glad to see Chelsea get the recognition she deserves, and I think she's going to do a great job with that belt. I think it's basically custom made for her. Zoe Starks versus Raquel versus Kaden Carter. Sorry, I didn't even write down who won this. That's how bad I am. Jeez. Wow, who did win this? For some reason because I really on the Intercontinental side, I really don't even care. That's horrible. I should, but let's see who the heck. While I'm looking up that, let me move on to the main event, which was War Raiders versus Judgment Day, with War Raiders getting the championship. So taking the belts off of Judgment Day. I think there's going to be some fractures in the whole Judgment Day thing. I really do. Stark advances in the women's title tournament. So Stark advances in this. What are the rest of the brackets for this? Who else is left at this point? So Stark advances. I'm not even sure who's left in this. Jeez. Not sure who's on the Raw roster for women. But yeah, Zoe Stark advances. I kind of like her. I do. This faction is not bad. I can't really. Was it pure? Whatever. I know that's horrible, but I do kind of like this faction. I just wish they'd come up with a better feud for them to highlight this faction. Are they going to try to put the belt on Zoe to kind of elevate this faction? Don't know. Let's see. War Raiders versus Judgment Day. Like I said before, War Raiders win the championship. I kind of like this. Gets it off of Judgment Day. Now, I think there's going to be some real shake-up within Judgment Day. I don't see this faction existing as it is for a whole lot longer. I can see Finn breaking off and away from this and maybe doing, maybe almost like a Latin flavor to this kind of thing, because they'll have Dom, they'll have Carlito, whatnot. I mean, what about JD Drew, though, the human bobblehead? He's going to have to go with his buddy Finn, so he's going to be gone. So and then they'll have Raquel Rodriguez. The only one in there isn't Hispanic of some sort. Is Liv, So are they going to go that route? Kind of anti-LWO? Could be. But aside from that, I'm trying to think of what else we got going on in the world of wrestling. Not really a whole lot aside from that, I think. I mean, obviously got big news with Rampage being being shut down. I wonder if that was a decision on behalf of Time Warner or not USA Network, but TNT and whatnot. I wonder if that was, or TBS, Turner Broadcasting. I wonder if that was decision based on that, based on them, because they've got AEW's got a few more people to answer with, especially with the Max deal and whatnot. They're kind of, their hands are tied in more instances, and I think honestly this could actually be a good thing for them, because it could actually give them some direction. Could give the much needed disciplined direction that Tony Khan needs, because he's doesn't have that, and I think they desperately need that. So yeah, this could be a good thing. I know streamline the shows. They're gonna have to make some cuts and streamline AEW, because they're already playing smaller venues, which is a smart move. They probably should have started that off from the get-go, and tried to build up. But the main thing with AEW is just you've got to build better storylines and make a better product, because shows aren't very interesting right now, and there's like zero character development or storyline going on that's kind of interesting. Very few of the wrestlers even know how to do that. MJF is one, obviously. Tony Storm is another, which has both of those two have done their jobs brilliantly and should be commended. But they need to have more of that from their entire roster. They had some very intelligent wrestling minds there, like Arn Anderson, Jake the Snake Roberts. DDP was hanging around for a while, and even when they had Cody, and Punk was a tremendous influence on everybody there. I know AEW stalwarts are pointing the finger at him for the demise of AEW, but he did a lot more good, I think, than he actually did anything really bad about the whole situation. I mean, as I'm speaking here, I'm looking at the Raiders statistics, and it looks like AOC had 257 passing yards. No TDs, no interceptions, but not a horrible day overall. So would they score everything on the ground or with the defense? Jeez. But yeah, kind of splitting my focus here. Sorry. It looks like Abdul had a good day run. He averaged 5.4 yards. But yeah, that's pretty much all I can think of right now as far as wrestling goes. I would hate to see AEW go under. I mean, I'm not a fan of the product in its current state. I was a fan. I enjoyed it when it first started up, but it's kind of unwatchable at this point, which is horrible, because they have some tremendous talent going on there, and I would really love to see them do well and actually pose a threat to WWE, which was why I was so incredibly excited for them in the first place to form, because they had somebody who had the deep pockets, who could support a show that could, or a federation that could compete on the level of WWE, and it's just not happening from a lot of, due to a lot of poor decision making and just lack of knowledge from the industry and kind of ego on Tony Khan's part and non-willingness to listen to people who know what they're actually talking about. But I do wish them well. I don't want to see the organization fold. I want to see AEW prosper, despite everything. Hey, once again, the holidays are coming up. Does anybody have any wrestling holidays or memories that they'd like to share? Please feel free to kind of post those in the comments. I know around here we used to have Jerry Lawler used to do a Thanksgiving charity event every year in recognition of his son's passing. Unfortunately, is there anything aside from the gobbledygooker that anybody remembers from Christmas? It's kind of hard this time of year with wrestling, because WWE likes to give their talent the time off, and I'm glad for them. They should, because those guys work their butts off and they're on the road a lot, so they should get some time to spend with their families. So typically, Raw and SmackDown are kind of recap shows at the end of the year. Not a whole lot going on. Which kind of seems like that's not going to be the case this year. It seems like they're going to go out with a bang on the USA Network with Raw. So I actually have a packed show, a good show, which I'm really looking forward to the Netflix premiere, because that looks like that is going to be an absolutely stacked show. I'm really looking forward to that. But once again, like I said, check us out on crushingkayfabe.com. As we wind down the show here, there's links for our social media off there. Like us on Facebook, follow us on YouTube, follow us on Spotify. But crushingkayfabe.com, there's a live feed on there too. Or not necessarily, I shouldn't really say live feed, but there's a feed on there which directs back to the Spotify shows, so you can get all of the shows from crushingkayfabe.com, crushing with a K. Check us out on Patreon, please. Just $1 a month. You can get the shows ad free and get all the back catalog and do all that for and help the show prosper and continue to keep going for just $1 a month, which I think is extremely reasonable. I really do. But check us out there, and check us out. Check out, I should say, Then and Now Flea Market in downtown Trenton, Tennessee. If you're in the Western Tennessee area, we've got a booth there. They've got some great items for sale there, and check them out. Support local business, and they're right in the square downtown Trenton. You really can't miss it. Trenton's so small. It's population 4,000. If you blink, you'll miss it. So, but if you go downtown, you can easily see, the square and Then Now. So check us out there. And once again, like I say, everybody be safe for the holidays. Have whatever you celebrate, and have a good holiday, and hope to see you next week. Thanks for tuning in. Prayers going out to Ukraine and to Israel, and to everyone. God bless.